Hey everybody, it's Mike Venus, La Soul, and I'm back. And this just kind of proves my argument of what I said before. It doesn't matter. I know, like people on social media. I'm on YouTube, so I'm gonna talk about YouTube. They had an issue with me saying that what problem did I have with gear? I didn't have a problem with people having gear. The problem is that this is what it is. It's becoming a monopoly, bro. And you got a bunch of replicas of the same shit. There's no innovation. It don't matter if native instruments got absorbed into InMusic, which is basically becoming like the god of music production. Cause basically, like, bro, they're making big moves when they bought Moog or Moog, however you want to pronunciate it. It doesn't really matter, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like tomato, tomato, potato, patata. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. You know, if you know, you know. So when they bought Moog, they done made a move and bought Native Instruments, the whole lineup. They're wiping out the competition and bringing them in house. And initially, this is what they're gonna do, just like they did with the Akai NPCs, because they're gonna bring in initially, right? They're not gonna bring it in fast. They're gonna start with something that is familiar. So, like for an example, it was years between the NPC 5000, right, and the Renaissance. And then when InMusic bought Akai, they came with the NPC Touch, the Live, One, the X. Then shortly they came with the Live 2, then the One, and then the Force, right? Then the keyboards with the 37, the 61, and then Live 3, a different version of the X, special edition. And then now they have, One Plus. Damn, there's so many. And then now they have the sample and the XL as a flagship. And then what you think they're going to do with Moog? I mean, they did it with Moog. They brought the Messenger, the Muse, right? But, I mean, they don't really sound good. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is another thing too, and this is from experience, because I have experience working on the MPC Live 2, which I bought that. The X was bought and returned expeditiously, right? Because it was buggy. Then I have the Force. I bought that. So I have experience, and I refused to buy the One because I felt that it was limited in its MIDI connections. But they all share the same software. And then it done morphed into something that is not really what it was. It's something completely different. Now, some might say, oh, that's very innovative and feature-packed and all this stuff. But really, it's nothing new. There hasn't really been anything new. Okay? With NPCs, with Native Instruments, basically, I would say with the Machine, which this is probably why I like the Machine MK3, and I still own one. I'm not getting rid of it, and that's another thing. It's very hard to flip these things, so you might as well just keep it. And if you like the version of the software they have now, stick with it. Don't be updating, because more likely you're gonna start getting bugs. Because newsflash, now you're the beta tester, right? And this is what I was talking about. It doesn't really matter. What matters is your understanding of how whatever you're using works. It's two main things. I split music production into two things. First and foremost, understand MIDI. I write. So writing in the DAW, iOS device, which is still like a DAW, or in these modern devices, um, standalone devices, they're like a DAW in the box. MIDI is very important to me because I'm a writer. I write. So I would suggest, like, and I did this, I broke it up. I focused first and foremost on understanding what is MIDI, what can I do with MIDI, right? So I can be able to convey my ideas and write it out in a way that is what I'm hearing in my head or what I'm achieving for the final product. But I had to understand, okay, MIDI. And then even some DAWs or devices have MIDI tools that can help kind of like speed up your workflow or assist you. So all these things are important, right? Because a lot of people like, oh, you gotta play your stuff. But if you're not a player, like I don't play the keys, MIDI's like writing MIDI is key. You know what I'm saying? It's clutch, you know. And then the second part, just as important, is audio and audio manipulation and what you can do with the audio. I really feel like these are two separate skill sets that you need to learn in modern music production. And it doesn't matter what you use. I know people want to argue because, like I said, I feel like it's a lot of propaganda. It's a lot of cult of personalities online. And they're pushing this agenda of gear, but that's not really the answer. The answer is, do people understand how to maximize the MIDI, and do they know how to maximize the audio and how to manipulate it? But I'm gonna be honest with you, Audio Kai products, the recent ones, because I got a 2000 XL, all the recent ones that's under InMusic, it has this weird high frequency like distortion to it that is real. It irritates my ears, and this is what took me a long time to release a project using the Akai Force. I mean, I made hundreds of tracks on there, and I still have them saved as projects, and haven't really rendered them down to a WAV file because of the fact that it's just it's something about the high end. It's just too sharp and overbearing, almost ear piercing, right? And it don't matter what it is: Force X, Live 2, Live 3, XL, sample, whatever you got that's a modern MPC or a Kai product. The high end sounds atrocious. The low end is not present. You have to either use techniques like layering, which I used to do this when I was sound design. I'll find kicks that I like, and I'll have to layer them up. And then once I layer them up, I will either resample it or I flatten the pad to create my own sample because it wasn't enough punch. You know what I'm saying? And then people complain about their mixes not sounding professional. It doesn't sound good. It works good, but it don't sound good. They emphasizing workflow. That's a marketing tool. Yeah, you can get results quickly, but at the end result, nobody cares. All they care about is how it sounds, and if it sounds crazy, it sounds crazy, bro. Oh, you're not mixing right. How? Akai bought Pro Tools. All the air plugins and effects that they have in instruments, that comes from Pro Tools. That's the standard supposedly of the industry, but yet the shit sounds terrible. And I used it. Well, you're not using it right. How? So now they about to do this shit to Machine. And one thing I could say about Machine, it was pretty straightforward. I know a lot of these people that don't really use this on a professional level, they want a new device. And that's fine. Because, You got to feed the beast. You got consumers, they want to consume, so be it. But what, like, a touch screen on this shit would be trash, bro. If you gonna fuck with a touch screen, you might as well get an iPad, bro. I know that's controversy. It's controversy, right? Online, but you might as well, because like, at least with an iPad, right, you can always upgrade, and the processing power of an iPad is far stronger than these devices. Straight up. But, it each its own, you know. But that's why I said at the end, it doesn't matter what you use. What matters is, do you understand how to write music? Do you understand how to record? And do you understand how this works, so that it sounds good at the end? Because it doesn't matter what DAW, it doesn't matter what piece of gear you use. What matters is, do you understand it, and can you get busy? I think the problem is, people want the latest thing because they're told that. Or they see a person, because it is monkey see, monkey do online. When I observe top producers or people that been working in the industry for a long time, they don't have a slew of shit. And a lot of times they have older shit. If they have any newer shit, it's probably either they curious just to play on it, just to experiment with it, or it's been gifted to them, or they got it at a discount, right? So that's a totally different beast. But the sound quality, to me, it don't sound that good. And hey, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? What do I know? Somebody, like I said, somebody was disrespectful a while back, calling me a hobbyist. But you can't tell me that all these people done bought all these Akai products since the MPC Touch that came out in 2017, probably 2016, and the Live 2017, and the X 2018, right? And the Live 2 in 2020. And where are they records at? Or the X, where their records at? It's funny. It's funny you'll see these same guys still hold on to old devices. Like Zaytoven, right? I seen a video, he got his studio, fire. It's set up real nice, fire. I'm not hating on him. But he still got a 2000 XL. He still got a 2500. Why? Because it sounds good, bro. That's why. That's why. At least the 2000 XL, that shit sounds amazing. I'm never letting that shit go. Plus, it's my favorite color. Orange is my favorite color. Shit's fire. I'm gonna refurbish it, but I'm never letting that shit go. It's simple. It's straight to the point. It's a MIDI device, and whatever you sample it in, the way it sounds is how you sampled it in, and that's how it's gonna come out. And it hits. You don't need all this extra shit to boost it and try to over process it, because it's lacking. Remember that whole movie? Oh man, but then didn't know that them niggas was getting suckered into buying more shit that they don't know about, but they want to seem like they in it because they want to seem cool, or they want their shit to sound good, or they want the thumbs up from Dear Daddy, dearest dad. And you don't even know these people, bro. They catching a lick, bro. You that simpleton. These people that's buying up all this shit, I ain't buying no new gear, bro. I'm gonna cook on what I have, and if it sounds good, I know it sounds good. It's good. If it sounds like trash, I'm not putting it out. But y'all going hard in the paint, getting all this shit, and your shit still sounds mid or sub. You understand? And how would a lot of these beat makers know if they don't mix their records? Are they in the booth with the in the studio with the mixers, directing how it's supposed to sound? No, most of them just make the beat and send that shit off to some random artists and they rap on it. And then they kick that off to the wizard. These engineers, shout out to these mixing engineers and these sound engineers, bro. Y'all doing some amazing work. Cause I know if these niggas is cooking on these things that they think is the latest thing, is hot fire, they shit sound like trash, bro. And y'all make it sound like gold. They turn shit to gold. You understand? They got the Midas touch. You know what I'm saying? So no, I don't really care. That's my end game. But you know, somebody might be like, oh, you know, everybody got their little 2 cents. I'm not excited to see what they're gonna do with it because more likely, Machine. One thing I would say about Machine, their integration with the software, the Machine software, is probably the closest thing I'll say to maybe Ableton with the push in connection with the software. That's what made those things elite. But now InMusic about to get control of fucking Machine, it's gonna be ass, bro. So my advice, if you got a Machine MK3 and you still cook on it, you know what I'm saying? Don't upgrade to the latest update until that shit is completely free of bugs, because it's gonna be buggy once InMusic get their hands on it, because they're not in the service of making high quality stuff. They're in the service of selling shit and holding you hostage. Because once you buy that shit, it's gonna be hard as hell to flip. Because you're gonna have to release your license to the device. You know what I'm saying? If the person gonna buy it used and they gotta update it, it's no different from Machina. It's the same way, Kai. Unless you buying it like from a place like Sweetwater and it's a B stock and they done, you know, make sure it's cleared out and it ain't gonna be no issues. But for the most part, you go to Reverb or your local guitar center to pick one of these up used, it's not happening. You're gonna be highly disappointed. Oh yeah, and they gonna fuck up the sound, and then they gonna say, oh, buy this expansion. You know, the same scenario, but really you need to know, you need to figure out what you want. I'll suggest this. If you're really serious and you want some hardware, buy one or two. No, I say buy one solid synth. Right? Buy a workstation keyboard, because that's going to have all your bread and butter sounds. And then buy you a sample sequencer. Right? That is a drum machine that could make good, that sounds good coming out without all this processing. Right? And you cook it. You know, in the mixer, you know, all that. If you're going hardware. Now, if you're going in the software, just get you a MIDI controller that you can understand, that you can get busy on, and get you a software that you like and that you can work on, that you understand, and that works well with your ideas and flow. And just cook, bro. And just listen and try to figure this shit out, because I feel like it's getting really nasty and really like weird. You know what I'm saying? With these cults of these different groups. I use whatever, bro. Like I said, I can get busy with my knuckles and fists on a table, or I can hit some spoons and make some shit fire. I could beatbox, you know what I'm saying? All I need is something to record that shit in, and something that give me the ability to manipulate and process that in a decent sequencer. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. But no, you know what I'm saying? You know? So no, gear does not matter. Because it ain't going to matter. Because look at all the other companies that they bought out over the years in music, right? Most of those products, they done fell to the wayside. There's no innovation in Newmark or fucking, what's the other one? M Audio. Look it up. Look up what InMusic owns. All the different companies that fell to the side and they absorbed them in, and see where their product line after so many years went to. Now they're extinct, or they're mid, or there's some type of abomination that's not even remotely close to what it used to be. Because they're in the business of selling gear and selling product, not making high quality devices. A lot of these companies that they bought, that was their goal. A lot of them did make very high quality pieces that did inspire people to make great music, but they people aren't buying shit like that. So now you're gonna get some cheaply made bullshit quality and present it as gold, and people gonna eat it up like pellets. But that's good for you. While you focusing on that, I'm gonna do me. But like I said, the iPad I still feel is a better choice than most of this stuff is gonna be in the recent years. And I know it's gonna be a lot of hype, but it's plenty of stuff since InMusic done bought Akai or Newmark or Denon and other companies. And where are they now? This is chess, not checkers, bro. It's one way you can defeat your opponent and move their ass off the board. It's buying them out. That's one way to move them off the board. You understand? I wouldn't be surprised. Like, yeah, it's a lot of hype now around Machine, but come on, bro. They're going to take the sounds, because that's the thing Akai didn't have in conjunction with or in competition with Native Instruments. Native Instruments had better stock sounds, better sound packs, and sound designers. Now that they on the team, you don't really need Machine. You don't really need the controllers and stuff. They're going to still sell them because people going to still be interested in them. But watch, it's going to fade out, or they're going to lose interest, and they're going to drop it, or they're going to make it like a beta testing device. And then once it's not really making no money, they're going to drop it, and it's just going to be like few people on the wayside that's still holding on to that dream of updates, or it's still going to be hoping for another version of it coming out. It's not. It won't. I'm curious to see what these composers that do scores and stuff that own a lot of contact libraries, what they gonna feel about the software, because they own that too, InMusic. Get smart, open your eyes. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't got no skin in the game with these companies like that, so I'm gonna tell you from a non-biased perspective, but I'm gonna give you the real, because Mike cares. You know. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section. You know, I don't really fucking care. I'm gonna do me. My shit's still gonna sound good, but I know a lot of people gonna be affected by this. More than just the people on YouTube, the people that actually really do work. You know what I'm saying? Professionally, not hobbyists or consumers. So I'm Mike Venus, La Soul, aka the Maestro, aka Himicus, him. Y'all be blessed. Mike out.